another match point.
Incredible third set here.
They changed their strategy a little bit and they fought their way back in.
There it is, game, set, and match.
Hello, and welcome to the 2024-25 APTA Tour. We're live here in Hyde Park Country Club in Cincinnati, Ohio, bringing you the women's semifinal that is underway in the second set. I'm here calling this match with the one, the only Patty Hogan. We're live second set score. Cruz Matrka won the first set 6-3, and they are up 1-0 in the second set. Patty, I'm excited to be here with you tonight.
Yeah, this is great, and since these are your peeps, why don't you identify all the players on the court for us, Denise?
All right, in the forecourt, in the white hat, we've got Maria Matrka, and her partner wearing black with the blue shoes is Liz Cruz. On the far court, in the blue, we have, let's see here, sorry, that looks like, oh, they just switched sides again. Allison Morgan is in the black, and in the blue is Aubrey Banks.
Yeah, so Denise, we missed the first set. We had really long quarterfinal men's match to hold things up here. We apologize for that, but now we get the semifinal match that we thought would be a really good, fun match for people to watch. Liz Cruz is a three-time women's national champ. She won in 2015 with Anna Brazova. She won in 2018 and 19 with Gabby Nicolescu. She's paired up here with Cincinnati's, one of Cincinnati's finest, Maria Matrka. You know, a lot of players on the stream haven't seen a lot of Maria Matrka, Denise, but I think you're familiar with her game, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, she brings a lot of chaos. She moves, she kind of floats on the court, and she has a tendency to take over. She loves that forehand of hers and will go great distances to hit it. On the far side, as you know, everybody knows Allison Morgan and Aubrey Banks, her partner. But what's interesting, Patty, is all four of these players are playing with different partners. Typically, Allison is playing with her partner, Charlotte Sikora. Aubrey Banks is teamed up with Gussie O'Sullivan. And Liz and Marie are kind of, Cruz and Matrka are kind of floaters. I was texting Liz earlier, and she wasn't sure who she was going to play nationals with. So this is kind of an interesting matchup here, and it's guaranteed to be some great paddle.
Yeah, and you know, you saw that swing, that service motion from Matrka. You know, right there, that just tells you a little bit what she's made of. She's got every shot, and I love her teaming up with Liz Cruz personally, because I think that Liz is an incredible player. You know, maybe past her prime, but she would say she's still looking for another national title. She's super motivated. You know, one of the most remarkable women on the court, and keeping a really positive attitude all the time and helping to make her partners better. And last year, she did a wonderful job, I think, helping B. Lopez. You know, they were quarterfinalists at the Nationals in Boston, but she really helped B. Lopez, you know, see some elements to the game and learning how to fight, you know, and play the inner game of paddle, I would say. And so I think this is a great pairing in the women's game. It's kind of fun and exciting to see a new team that, you know, could have a giant upside.
100%. Cruz is just her energy's so good. You'll hear the cackle and her laugh at some points throughout a match, guaranteed. And she always stays positive out there and builds up her partner. So anybody she plays with, I think they're just gonna their game's gonna be elevated based on what she's giving to them and to the match.
Yeah, I think Matrka brings the offense a little bit more than Cruz does, although she's going to have to pick a better spot, because that was just a great hands volley. You know, that's one of the dangers of moving into the court and driving that ball versus letting that ball get a little closer to you, closer to the baseline, Denise. You might leave yourself open on the next volley. And that's what happened there.
That's what happened. I mean, Allison Morgan, when I asked her what her favorite shot is in the game, she said her volley. So that's just kind of proved it right there. What not only what she can handle, but where she can put it. So we've got Marie Matrka serving over to Allison Morgan in the ad side.
And by Liz Cruz positioning herself on the same side of the court as Matrka, it kind of forces Morgan possibly just take her return up the line. And because we missed the early part of this match, we're not sure why they did that tactically, but must be a reason for it.
Yeah, two very smart teams here. So everything is calculated and the strategy is implemented based on what your opponents are showing you. So, but I am bummed we missed the first set, Patty, because I know this was going to be a very lively, energetic match.
Yeah,
but we're here now.
Right, but we're here now, and
Yep.
not only are we here now, we have our special guest that I want to welcome, Heather Propp, former pro here at Hyde Park, great director here, great player, semifinalist at nationals. Welcome, Heather.
Hey, ladies, it's so good to be here with you guys. Yep, I kind of missed the
Heather.
first set too, so they snuck over on the other court, so I was not able to see the match starting.
Okay, no problem. We forgive you, Heather.
Oh, thanks.
Heather,
we
I've got
Wait, we
got a
missed you out there on the courts, Heather, but we're so glad you're in the booth for a little bit of the action this weekend. And did you have a grandchild's birthday party earlier in the day?
No, she moved it to next weekend, so we're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good for
Okay.
tomorrow as well. Yep.
Heather, I've got a question for you. How many Midwestern championships did you win?
Oh my gosh.
Can you even count? Did you lose track of that? Because I mean, I think pretty much every one I played in, you won. Just saying.
Well, that was quite a few years ago, but I'm thinking it's 8. I had Lynn Schneeback as my partner for years, and we won quite a few. And then I think I've won one with Anya, and maybe someone else, but I'm not sure. But yes, Midwesterns has been a great tournament for me.
Which Anya did you win with?
Kasakevich.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Did I pronounce
Yeah.
that right? I think I got it right.
Yeah, you did. Kazakevich, you got it.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been a great tournament, and I'm sad that I can't play anymore, but it's really fun to be out here. The paddle hut is hopping tonight, and it's just all the energy. It's just really a great sport. I love it.
Got some saddle and cycle people from Chicago enjoying the action, rooting on, obviously, their director, Liz Cruz. Denise, where do these other women teach?
Well, Allison is co-director at Birchwood Club in Highland Park, Illinois, with her husband, of course, Adam Morgan. And Aubrey Banks teaches at the North Shore Country Club, and ironically, the pro that got her out, that kind of made her love the game, is Will Colmar, who you were just commentating the men's quarterfinal with. So small world there. Aubrey Banks played tennis at Brigham Young, and once she got a paddle in her hand, she never looked back. She's just loving the game so much. Marie is not a teaching pro anywhere. She's actually, it's super interesting. She grew up in Wilmington, Ohio. There was no girls' tennis team there, so she played on a men's team, and she went to school for oncology and is currently, she's working in an oncology business unit as a medical science liaison. So super interesting background there of Matrka. So 3 out of the 4 are teaching pros, and it shows.
Heather and Denise, we have a sad thing to share during this stream, but we would be remiss in not saying something. Our dear friend, Lori Hysy, lost her battle on Thursday with cancer, and our hearts go out to their family. Lori just epitomized the best in our sport, was such an amazing, amazing women. Heather and Denise, you both knew Lori. Can you share something that's going to make me smile about Lori, please?
Well, I can say I've played her quite a few times, and you know, she had always had a smile on your face, but it was hard when she was beating you, and she still was smiling. And even if you were beating her, she was smiling all the time. And it's just a sad loss. I know that she was a wonderful human being, so I just feel bad for her family. But you know, she contributed so much to paddle, not just on the court, but off the court as well.
Yeah, I mean, she was a very special human being. She was kind of a bright light, a ray of sunshine, and she's the type of person that when you knew her and were around her, she made you just feel so important, and she just made the world a better place. So she will be dearly missed by all.
Heather, Hyde Park does a phenomenal job hosting the Midwesterns every year. How many years were you the tournament director?
Oh, well, for the women, oh gosh, I can't even count. Maybe 10, 12.
More times than you wanted?
Yep.
That's amazing, Denise. Did you ever run a tournament, Denise, in Chicago and also win the tournament?
I'm telling you, Heather does it all.
I have to say, it's kind of nice to be a spectator for a change and see all the people that I know and love and used to teach here. So it's been a great afternoon, actually, me getting caught up with everyone. But yes, Hyde Park is doing a wonderful job, as usual, this year.
Matrka just came out with an awesome drive from the ad side corner, which made Allison Morgan miss a volley, which is a rare occurrence. Caught the nick. Liz having a conversation with the nick, wondering, how could you do that to me?
Exactly.
Yeah. Aubrey Banks is serving. Marie Matrka returning. Phenomenal return.
I have a question. I feel like, you know, with Marie, I obviously played with her before, and Liz, it's like they're probably wondering who are they going to hit this ball to, because no place is safe with both of these two girls. Not sure what their game plan is.
Yeah, I mean, Banks brings a big backhand from the deuce side and is so consistent. And then there's, you know, Allison Morgan, who can pull the trigger on both sides and can run literally everything down and is a human volley machine. Speaking of one of our sponsors is Volley. She is literally plug her in and she'll just go. So I think in my mind, Cruz and Matrka need to play a very consistent, solid match and not press too much. They just need to kind of look for their openings and strike when it's a high percentage opportunity. Heather, you really mentored Marie Matrka when she was first coming out. I know you played a number of tournaments with her. Did you not, when she first came on the scene a number of years ago? Maybe 3 years ago?
Yeah, about 3 years ago. We always talk about that I retired too early and she came too late. So, but I mean, she doesn't need much help, let me tell you. But I just think she's just a fantastic talent. Just needs to be reined in, you know, and maybe gain a little more discipline. But I mean, I love watching her play. It's just she's so unpredictable and just an awesome player, and also very fun to play with on the court. You know, that's very important.
Yeah. Well, you definitely sped up her learning curve when she's learning from one of the best. So, and it shows.
Hey, Denise and Heather. We are so lucky to hear from our sponsor, headquartered right here in downtown Cincinnati. Roto-Rooter has been a dedicated sponsor of the Midwesterns tournament for the past 10 years. Every year that Heather ran it, they were involved, almost. Roto-Rooter is North America's largest provider of residential and commercial plumbing repair, sewer, and drain services. Special thanks to APTA member and Roto-Rooter president Robert Goldschmidt and his team for their loyal support. So Heather, when you played, how many tour events would you say you played in a typical season?
Well, we had to travel quite a bit, so I would say we didn't play as much as we wanted to, but I would probably say between 8 and 10 a year.
Right, now there's 20 opportunities
It's crazy.
to play tour events every single season starting in October. How wild is that, Heather, compared to back in the day when we were out there and maybe you had a tournament to pick from like every 3 weeks?
Yep. Oh, like I said, I would say I retired too soon, but, it's a great opportunity for these new players coming up. So, the more paddle, the better, I say.
100%. The APTA has done just an amazing job scheduling and organizing such a full schedule, and all the local clubs just continue to outdo themselves with the party, not only the organization and the tournament, but the party they organize and have for the players and spectators. It's quite an event. I like how Allison Morgan slid over. That's typically her position when she's playing with her standing partner, Charlotte Sikora. She likes to be on the right to look to cut off those volleys.
Heather, I don't want to really talk about the Bengals much. Do you have another dog in the fight with Cincy out?
No, but I'm really proud of our Bengals because they played their hearts out and they won, I think, 5 games in a row. So, they did their part. They just didn't get any help from the other teams. But I think we're all happy how they ended their season.
I love that. You're not a fair weather fan. I can't stand when your team is out and it's like, and they stink, but we're going with this team now. Good answer, Heather.
Now, I'm a Bengals fan. Ever since Joe Burrow got drafted, I became a Bengals fan.
He's an outstanding player. It's really fun to watch.
So we're so used to seeing Morgan and Sikora, consistently top team in the country last couple of years. Morgan's played with a couple of different partners this year, which I think is great for the whole Midwest paddle community for the women. I just think she brings so much to the table and every opportunity for these other players, these younger, less experienced players to get on the court with her really is a game changer for them.
I couldn't agree with you more. She just loves the competition, and when Charlotte's not available, she's not sitting at home. She's getting out there and gaining knowledge and experience to then transfer back to her partnership with Sikora.
Yeah, I don't see the Morgans, either of them, hanging out on a Saturday night eating bonbons. I mean, if there's a tournament, they're going to play.
Heck yeah.
That's a great little lob from Matrka, just kind of caught Banks, kind of an awkward shot. I think Allison's talking to her about that. She's saying, hey, I look up to you and all, but I could have, that ball would have dropped. I could have handled it.
I love that Morgan is talking to Banks here. Just to your point, Patty, just maybe reviewing a strategy or reinforcing, something that they need to do. She's always thinking. That Allison Morgan, she's a thinker.
Yep. And right there, that volley miss from Matrka, pretty awkward looking shot. Liz Cruz doesn't bring a lot, truthfully, on her serve. She kind of just lays it in. And so it is, to be up there, you're kind of a target a little bit. So I think Matrka's going to have to keep herself down lower. And if she's going to play, Australian, maybe have her grip starting out a little bit more neutral, so a little easier for her to go to a forehand volley versus favoring that backhand on the setup. Well, I'll just watch for that, see if it happens again. Yeah, you can see Banks is surprising Morgan with some of the shots she's hitting here. And I felt like that point, she kind of started going for things because she could reach them, not because they were the right shot for her to hit. And it definitely got Banks. It definitely screwed up their coverage at the net. What could have been routine became way too interesting. But kudos to Matrka for recognizing that and putting her lobs in really tough spots. Just out of the reach of what Banks should, can easily control, and really it should just go right to Allison Morgan's paddle. So Banks Morgan down here 1-3 in the second set. Out of Hyde Park Country Club, Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm Patty Hogan with Denise Murphy and the Cincy star, Heather Prop.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Come on, go higher, Denise. Ta-da!
I don't know if I can. Ta-da! I'd be better off with a drum roll, Patty, to be honest.
There you go. Okay.
I'd be like, ding.
Noted.
Yep.
APTA store kicked off the season in Montclair way back in October, and that tournament was won by Morgan and Sakura. Morgan's got to be thinking that right now. What do they have to do here to find their way back into this set?
Exactly. Heather, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that question. If you were Morgan and Banks right now, down a set and down 1-3, what would your mindset be?
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, I was saying before, there's really no person to pick on. You've got Liz Cruz, who is the 3-time national champion, and you've got, the weapons of Marie Matrka. I would try to maybe create a little more chaos with them. Make Liz move more. I would say, obviously she's a great champion, but she hasn't played that much in a while. So I'd maybe make her move a little bit more and get Marie out and maybe make Marie do maybe some too aggressive shots and making her miss. Right now, I just feel like, they're just playing paddle. I'm not sure I don't know really what their strategy is at this point. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. I like what they're doing. This is like the first kind of really organized point. You can see they're working Liz and the due side. Matrka is actively hunting over there and kind of maybe getting a little antsy. I could see her just waiting for that right moment to go backdoor on Matrka, or to cause her to come out too far, which might compromise her positioning. So,
Agreed, yeah.
That was a really solid, nice long point. I like also the high percentage overhead targets that both Morgan and Banks were hitting there. There's no need to hit low percentage, crazy angles. It's just, I always say, good wins matches. That doesn't have to be great, because when you feel like you're pressed to go for low percentage angles, you're gonna end up on the short end of that stick.
Yeah, right now I feel like Marie's just in her element and she's playing freely, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous for any team she's playing against.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Heather, you pointed out to me that Matrka doesn't hesitate to pull the trigger. She's a bold paddle player, and if she's gonna really be aggressive at most opportunities.
Absolutely.
I like Liz Cruz's positioning there when Matrka was returning. She was standing right at the service line, really putting pressure on Morgan's return.
Yep, that's Liz Cruz far side, deuce court, and that's Marie Matrka far side in the ad court. It's Allison Morgan with the blonde ponytail, right there hitting the shot with the white paddle, and that's Aubrey Banks with the black outfit.
Yeah, right there, I think Marie made a tactical error. I think that's what she does. She goes, and I think she doesn't need to be that aggressive on those shots. That's a low percentage shot she was trying.
Following the completion of this match, you guys, will be men's semifinal action. Some great semifinal matches coming up, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Great cutoff by Morgan there. I like the flow and switch. That's nice. But to your point, Patty, you mentioned earlier about just staying organized and knowing what your job is based on where the ball is. Just making high percentage choices there. Not reaching just because you can reach it does not mean it's your ball. And the more organized that you stay with your partner, the higher percentage shots you're going to make, bottom line. Definitely working that deuce side. There you go. That's exactly what we were talking about. But to Heather's point is, working that deuce side, and then Matrka comes out a little too far, and you take advantage of that opening in the corner.
Yeah, Corian is the official wealth sponsor of the APTA's 24-25 season. They're excited to partner with the APTA because whether as advisors to our members or as members themselves, they're already part of the APTA community. Learn more at www.coriant.com, the official wealth sponsor of the APTA. A beautiful note from Jackie Cameron, our APTA tour director, on Lori Hysy. She said, Lori Hysy will be sorely missed. She was the consummate professional, loved by all. She welcomed everyone to the sport and encouraged all to participate. What a sad time. Well said, Jackie. Everyone loved Lori. If you knew Lori, to know Lori was to love Lori.
Absolutely.
All right, so here we go. Marie Matrka serving. Aubrey Banks over there about to hit that return to serve. What does Banks like to hit? Forehands or backhands, Denise, or everything?
She pulls the trigger on both sides, but her backhand drive is her bread and butter. She's got big shots from either side. She'll kind of surprise you a little bit, and she can easily mix up the pace. She can hit a soft roller, or the big ball. So it kind of can throw you off as to what there's that Liz Cruz, that was a great volley.
Liz just said, not in my hood.
Yeah. But I see how Liz keeps her shoulders forward. She's ready to absorb that ball. If her shoulders were back, that ball's flying in the side screen. So that takes a little badge of courage there to do that when you've got somebody marching on in front of you. So fantastic volley by Liz Cruz. Oop, little miscommunication there.
Heather, how many years in a row has the Midwesterns had a storm to start the weekend or to end the weekend?
All I can say, if it's the Midwesterns, we're going to have some crazy weather. We always do. So this was predictable.
I mean, I played the Midwesterns at least 10 years, I'm guessing, and there was either a massive storm going to Midwesterns or a big one coming back. And it was always expected. You just need to give yourself lots of time on either side to get there and to get home safely.
Yeah, I think we're going to have perfect weather tomorrow, though, I hope.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Maybe a little sun.
Tomorrow's schedule is what, Heather?
9 a.m. are the women's finals, and 11 a.m. the men's finals. Correct? I hope.
Whatever you say, we believe.
That sounds good. This is a big game in my mind. I mean, it's 3-2 with Cruz Matrka leading, Marie Matrka serving. If they could get this back to 3-all, that would be empowering for Morgan Banks.
Yeah, and I think this is where Cruz's management of the match and helping Marie Matrka make sure that they're both on the same page in this point, because they all know how critical it is, and they know what Allison Morgan can do, and
there you go.
Allison didn't care. She did it anyway. But that's why I think they have to be real specific. They have to play keep away from Allison Morgan.
Yeah, that was a great pressure move by Allison Morgan.
Yeah, and Allison does that move as well as any woman in the game, where she'll chip and get that ball low, and follow it up and look to pounce, and super effective two-shot little effort that she puts together all the time.
She's just got such a nose for the ball. She kind of does this, I call it like almost like a dramatic pause, where she moves in after she hits the initial ball and makes it seem like a part of the court's open until it's not. She is so fast. She kind of baits you to hit a volley in a certain spot, and it's not. Wow, that was a nice little nick.
Yeah, good recognition from Matrka to see that Nick was available, and she aimed right at it and got it.
Wouldn't that be great? Every time you wanted to hit a nick, you just, oh, I want to hit that. Boom, done.
That's right. All right, you can tell Cruz is feeling it over here in the deuce court. It's great to see her back out on the court. She's really one of our sports finest, just in how she competes, and just amazing sportsmanship all the time. Great teacher.
Again, that pressure drive by Matrka. That's just, it's a different ball when the drive's coming from the green, as opposed to moving in and coming, like forcing yourself behind that ball. It's like, it's a different feel. It's a great move.
Yep, and really good lob off the forehand from, that deuce court from Liz Cruz. And that's the problem. When you float some balls over there early in a point and your team's not quite in a position to be set at the net, that lob off the forehand is a killer to defend as two righties on the other side.
Matrka is just cruising over, hovering over that center hash mark when the ball's going over to Cruz's deuce side. Almost.
I mean, Allison had the shot.
Yeah.
She just didn't make it. I like the look. She had to take it. She's not getting that many easy looks. That was a pretty easy look. She just missed.
Both Cruz and Matrka are just lobbing so well. Just watching their feet trickle behind that service line or at the service line. It's tough to do much offensive when you're back that far off the net.
And right there, Matrka rushed that shot. You see Denise and Heather, how she went to short hop it. And that's one of the things when you come over from tennis that you kind of have to let that ball bounce up a little bit more so that you can actually hit a ball that dips down versus, short hopping it, catching it up, at that moment of contact, and then easy for that ball to go long. The great Hank Irvine, one of my mentors, a trillion years ago when I started working at Beacon Hill Club in Summit, where Tomas Christian is the pro now. Hank was over at Short Hills. I learned a ton of paddle, the mental game from Hank, and I remember he said that to me first time he ever saw me play. He said, "Patty, I know you like to short hop the ball on a tennis court, but you got to lose that shot on a paddle court." I go, "Okay, Hank, you're the master. I believe you."
Right. Yep.
Hank will be at the Short Hills Club. Speaking of Short Hills Club, they're going to host the 3rd Grand Prix of the year, early February, and a great event always, celebrating the club's 75th straight year they've run the Short Hills Invitational. They're having a party. They've welcomed back and sent out invites to all the past tournament winners for the men and women. They did a similar event at the 70th and now the 75th, and I hear Hank Irvine's coming back to town from Florida. So looking forward to that.
That's awesome. This is a phenomenal point. Great touch. It's a really nice drop shot by Banks. I love the classic drop shot where the feet just keep moving. That's the #1 reason why those drop shots find their way into the net, is the feet stop. She did a fantastic job on that drop. All right, big point for Aubrey Banks serving. Matrka returning. Allison does such a great job of calling that ball early to just give Banks an opportunity to get balance hitting those shots. Love the early communication. All right.
Love the
All right,
depth
these-
on that volley.
Yeah.
Great anticipation from Cruz. She saw that there was no backswing. Banks had her paddle just set, and she kind of sniffed the shot out and made a play.
But I love the shot regardless if Cruz gets it or not, because it really compromises that their team's positioning for that one hit, that next ball. So
For sure.
Banks is onto something there.
Yeah, and I think, Cruz is not the speediest of players out there, and, getting her to cover more court, I think would bodes well for Banks and Morgan. I think they have to do that, kind of get Cruz out of her comfort zone, because if she just sits back, hangs on the baseline, that's right up her alley. She's great in that situation.
Yeah.
Banks serving, Cruz hitting the return. And Heather, speaking about mentoring, I mean, you've done a wonderful job in upping the game in Cincinnati. You've got Jill Jackson, you've got Ellie Hallballer, finalists last year in the Women's Nationals, and you got Marie Matrka out here. And I know that you had a big, your involvement was key for these young women to enter the sport of platform tennis. And getting to listen to some of your wisdom goes a long way to, making their trajectory so much, steeper instantly.
Oh, thanks, Patty. Yeah, I wish we had more Cincinnati girls. We've got definitely 3 talented ones right here. I'm just thrilled that they love, paddle as much as I do, and they are constantly wanting to get better. So, I wish I was playing with them, but I'm happy to help them any way they need.
Well,
Not that they really need
role
it.
model they have in you. So
You're so sweet. Thank you. But yeah, this is fun for me to watch them.
And Heather and Denise, as we've always seen in the sport over the years, no matter what regions, the sport of platform tennis is so unique in that, fellow competitors help each other improve. In tennis, there's no way people are doing that. Where in paddle, how many times have you guys played an amazing match? You go out there for 3 sets, fight it all out, and you go inside and maybe you have a cocktail together at the end of the night and you all become friends and you start teaching at each other's camps. And, that's kind of the beauty of the sport of platform tennis.
That is so true. And of course, I love teaching with Denise at the camp up in Chicago, and that's where I met Aubrey this year. So it's just, that's what I love about paddle, the camaraderie, whether you're competing or teaching with each other. This is just the beauty of the game.
yeah, it's just so fun. It's a very unique community. The paddle players are just the best.
We are. We are.
I mean,
They are the best. And speaking about the best, let's shout out. Let's thank Mark Keeby from Total Platform Tennis, because these umpire chairs just don't naturally appear on these courts. Someone's got to schlep them around, and they go from tournament to tournament. So in the Midwest, we'd like to thank Mark Keeby for his help with that. Rob Koster does a great job in the Northeast helping us out, and Mark's out there in the Midwest making sure that umpire has the best seat in the house, besides our seat. Our seats are a little warmer in the paddle hut.
totally. That's a great move by Allison Morgan.
Yeah. What a perfectly placed ball with the perfect amount of pace. Just got it right at her sneakers. Forced the volley error.
Liz Cruz serving, Allison Morgan returning. Ah, Allison Morgan's, her backhand is just so pure. I love it. And you combine that with the feet that don't stop. It's a tough ball. to defend against.
Yep. Sorry to cut you, Denise. I'd seriously consider on the next serve to Morgan, even maybe both of them staying back on the baseline. Feel like Matrka is kind of, she's up there. She's trying to help out Liz, but Liz isn't putting much on her serve. And in these temps, that becomes the returner's dream. And I feel like Banks and Morgan, their play is getting better. So if you're, Cruz and Matrka, you gotta figure out a way to finish this match off. You don't want to let Alza Morgan and anyone keep going and, have a little bit more belief that they can win this match, take it 3 sets, win this set and take it 3.
Well, Morgan and Banks have done a great job in the last number of games. I know they're down 2-5, but to your point, Patty, I think they're figuring this out. I haven't seen a big point-ending drive by Matrka in a while. Well, of course, I just said that. That is the commentator's jinx right there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, prior to that, they were doing a fantastic job of isolating Cruz and the deuce side, waiting for Matrka to come out and then dumping it in the screen where she had no other choice but to lob. So if they can keep that going and not allow Matrka to come out, as soon as she starts hunting and she connects with the ball, it's all heck breaks loose. So that's a good move by Banks. I liked it a lot.
I like the move. I think that she just had to stay in her lane almost and just even, play it as a backhand volley. I think she tried to force a forehand volley in there and ran out of time. She wasn't set for it.
Big point here.
And I like the pressure that Cruz is feeling on her serve. I mean, I like it if you're Morgan and Banks. They're
right.
That's what I meant.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
So did Heather.
Yes, of course. Yeah, Marie needs to be careful doing that. Yeah, she can get a little bit out of her lane and then get in trouble.
And she's just right there, she's got to have the awareness. Both of her opponents were even with each other and kind of closer to the net than the service line. So bringing in another shot there that would have given her time to cover the next ball would have been the right play. But hard to resist in the moment.
Interesting look. Cruz in the ad side here.
She won a national championship over there. No problem.
Oh.
Yeah, just too short of volley. Too much room.
But that's also what happens when you're not, they've got a plan going, and all of a sudden, if you lose focus for a moment, you forget, Matrka's right there. Not that Cruz wouldn't be there either, but it's two different, styles coming out of different corners can really throw you.
Yeah, so Cruz had no intention of coming in there. They just gave up the net. Huge point.
Big one. Allison, I love how Morgan's standing right on the baseline. Really looking to jump on that return. She does just that.
Yep. I think Cruz missed an opportunity to get up to the net there when Allison took it right at Matrka. I thought Cruz could have slid right up to the net versus, being kind of in a defensive position from the baseline now.
I was thinking the same thing. I think they're more effective at the net if they can, keep the net a little more. Allison and I think they're figuring it out from being at the net. Just she gave that point away. Oh, yeah.
And I'd love Allison to switch over, get to the left of the two players. I want her in this huge moment to be the one handling the overheads. Personally.
Yeah, I think
nothing against her taller partner. Just that Allison's got the experience and she's been in these situations so many times. She knows how to handle it.
Oh, wow. That was a big game, a great point, played by all 4 players. but Morgan Banks came out on top of that one. But Cruz and Matrka still leading second set 5-3. I like how Banks and Morgan just kind of are settling in here. There's definitely a plan. For a while we were like, what is the plan? There's definitely a plan, and they're doing a much better job executing it. Keeping that ball over to Liz's corner to the deuce side, Liz Cruz, and then waiting for an opening to get it to Matrka's screen to just keep her from bringing offense from the deck.
Yeah, and your point, Denise, is you'd much rather face a drive from Liz Cruz than you would a drive from Maria Matrka on her forehand, I would say.
Yeah. Because Matrka's flying in behind that usually.
Yeah,
or
it's
she's
a
coming.
heavier,
Yes.
a much heavier ball, I would say.
Yes. Or she's coming way out, which just opens up the amount of angles that she can choose to hit on that shot. So it's really hard to navigate as a volleyer.
What an off-speed return of serve.
Yep.
Matrka just pulled out there.
Heather, I had nightmares about your backhand playing you in these matches here. Could never tell if it was coming right down the line at me or cross court. I'd be like, and there it is.
Well, I
And is
didn't
it
have,
going to
I
be a
didn't have the
chip? Is it
power.
going to be a lob?
I didn't have
Kept
the
her
power.
opponents off balance.
Yep. Playing that deuce side and just holding it, pulling the trigger. It's like so calculated. I loved it.
I think Liz.
I mean, I didn't like
Liz is pretty
receiving
good
it,
at it. Yeah, Liz is pretty
It was
good
a-
at doing that too. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
mixing it up well.
A brutal lob.
Nice second
Perfect.
effort by Morgan.
Yep. Yep. What a smart shot.
I love the encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good partner.
Me. You, two, back up. You. You.
Oh, great shot.
Really great combination by Banks. Oh, wait. Is that out?
Just missed
Yeah,
it.
just missed.
Just missed.
Wow. That was a phenomenal
She
point.
was she was all over it.
You want her feet right here. Well, that's fine.
All right, so a couple of match points here for Cruz and Matrka. Denise or Heather, who's going to be the opponent on the other side of the draw in the women's final tomorrow morning at 9? Who do we have?
We have our number one seeds, Hallbauer and Jackson. They had a tough match today. The scores really don't indicate it. There's two up-and-coming girls. I don't even want to attempt to pronounce their name. But
Okay, then we won't do that right now, Heather. We're gonna wrap this up because we
Awesome.
got to keep things moving tonight.
Got it.
Heather, I want to thank you for coming into the booth, and Denise, I'll leave it to you to sign off.
Yeah, no, we're just wrapping up this semifinal round. Fantastic job by Cruz and Matrka winning it 3-3. Next up, stay tuned. Next match is the men's semifinal between Bentheim and Humphreys and Baxter and Oaks. So thanks so much for tuning in, and thank you to our sponsors, Volley and Coriat. Heather, awesome
Thank you.
being with you, and Patty, always a pleasure.
thanks,
Night all.
Denise.
Want to see how Volley can transform training at your club? We've got a great offer for you. Gather 30 of your club friends and you'll get a free 30-day trial of Volley. Experience firsthand how Volley's trainer can help everyone improve. Increase reps and track your progress, all while training smarter. Don't miss out. Visit getvolley.com and unlock your club's full potential with a 30-day free trial.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
James thinks this is going to be a quick in and out for a water valve. But what James is about to realize is that there are tons of different water valves. Hundreds, in fact. Do you want half-inch or a quarter? Globe or gate? Chrome? Brass? PVC? What even is PVC? Sounds fancy. Oh no, we don't need help. He's a grown-up. Wait, James, where are you going? Oh, not again. You could be like James, or you could just call Roto-Rooter.
And away go troubles down the